Okay, next block on this is recoil acclimation. So recoil acclimation, a lot of times this is done with, like, say you shoot a 22 and you build up the actual calibers, which is great, that works, but it's very resource intensive and live fire and what have you. You can actually be hands-on. This is resource intensive as well because it's one-on-one with the student, but you can be very hands-on with a student off the range to build that rationalized apathy, to build that recoil acclimation so they don't contract more muscles or less muscles when the boom goes off, right? Complete rationalized apathy. A lot of muscular contraction, but correct muscular contraction. C-clamp, chest squeeze, locked in upper turret. And the technique on this, again, this is best in the live course, right? But think of your hand as like a big fat rubber tire, all right, like a bicycle, like particularly those new electric ones that are like 4 inches wide, right? Those big beefy ones. And this is a curb, pretty generous curb, right? Well, when you hit it, there's a bit of an impact, right, and a bit of a lift. It's a thump, right? We don't hit just the front of the pistol, okay? The cert pistol, right? We're doing this only with certs, not live fire course. Because it doesn't really emulate that feeling. We want to give the exact feel of a live fire as much as possible, all right? That dynamic, which is a little bit of a thrust back and a little bit of muzzle flip. So with your hand, right here in this base region, this meaty area, just right here, okay? That's your strike zone. It's kind of like an open hand slap, but we're gonna slap the front of the gun, right? Boom, and we're gonna skip. Boom and skip, boom and skip. Very light, very, very light. What we want them to achieve is that they're okay with that and they don't contract more muscles or less muscles, right? Again, they become apathetic to it. They have rationalized apathy. Miss. Every now and then miss, if not every other strike, miss. Don't make it a surprise. Common deficiency, this is a general instructor development note. Common deficiency with instructors, which drives me batshit crazy, is setting the students up to fail and then being the rescuer, being Captain Save-A-Ho and coming in and I hate that, all right? That happens in force on force a lot, where they put them in a situation to fail and they'll come in, oh, see, you put blah, 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 No, I'm all about putting them on a glide path for success immediately. So do not thump them and then miss and then watch them dip, right? And then, I see the flinch, see that, I got you. Please do not do that, all right? Please do not do that. Put them on the glide path for success of where we want them to go with this, with the rationalized apathy. So even if the game, so to speak, they figure out the game is you hit it and you miss. You hit it and you miss. You hit it and you miss. I mean, almost that's to the point now where that's best practices. That's the way I like to do this drill at this juncture in time. So do they know that rhythm on that? Yeah, they know it, but who cares if they know it? They're doing what we want them to do. I'm putting them on a faster, higher, steeper glide path of learning, all right? Just like that. When you do swing, make sure you don't go past the rear of the pistol, because that's a noxious stimuli to, kind of swing, and it brings an unnecessary, blah to them. So just go a little bit like that, all right? So I don't have someone to test here, but to do this on, but it's basically a lot like this. I skip like this, and increase the force, increase the force, increase the force, miss, increase the force, miss, increase the force. Pretty soon, that force impact, the mass of your hand, with that velocity and that impact, it can literally get up there to about what feels like the force of a 9mm. All right, as far as the impact and the jolt on them and such, it might be a little less spiky than that, but it gets pretty darn close to full recoil acclimation. One quick tip on this too is, well, let me leave it at that, and then let's go over some deficiencies and nuances on that drill next video.